What's up, guys? The following footage is just some clips of me putting back together my old track car. It's a 1990 Civic DX hatchback. It's painted a flat black. And if you'd been watching my channel for a while, you'd seen some videos where I'd done a handful of mods to it, from the B18 to the B20 swap, and just some upgrades along the way until earlier in 2018 I got the 1990 Civic Si, the white one. So I was putting this car back together with the intention of selling it. So I have a bunch of clips that follow of me just showing the process of everything that I was adding to the motor, because like obviously you can't see the clutch and flywheel when it's put back together. Same with some of the seals and whatnot. So I was recording a bunch of clips. I had a friend who'd always been interested in the car. I wasn't sure if he was really going to come through, if that's something that he really wanted, but before I really even got a chance to advertise it and even completely cleaning the car as much as I wanted to, he'd already came and picked it up and bought it off me. So following footage is just a bunch of information for how I put the car back together. I'll try to throw some old clips in there of the past, and I just wanted kind of like a video so I could reminisce on it in the future. If you ever want to see the old track car I had as compared to the new one that I'm using now. So I hope it's not too boring of a video for you guys. But I wanted to put this together for any potential buyers, even though I don't need to now. But I decided to go ahead and finish it off anyway, just so I could kind of see the evolution of it from where it started as to where it ended up at, and now that it's gone out of my hands. Hey guys, I'm going to make a small little documentary about me putting this car back together. That way I can show you all the parts that I've put onto the new engine. Now this is that D15 B2 engine. It has all the parts from the multi-point swap. That way it makes it the 4 fuel injectors. What I did, I removed the transmission, flywheel, and the clutch. And I went ahead and removed the rear main seal. And I installed a new rear main seal on there. That's what I'm doing first. And now on the opposite side of the motor, I got the timing belt removed, the water pump removed, crank pulley, and the tensioner. I'm going to go about replacing the cam seal. We're going to change the crank seal, add a new tensioner, water pump, and timing belt. We got all those parts right here. Bought this timing belt kit with a tensioner, water pump. Has the gasket for the water pump. Also has the 2 seals. It has new hardware for the top of the valve cover. It also comes with the valve cover gasket and the 4 spark plug tube seals that we're also going to change. And then once we get those installed, we're going to put on a brand new flywheel and a brand new clutch kit. This is an XTD clutch off of eBay. It's the entire clutch kit with new throwout bearing, new pilot bearing, and of course new clutch setup and the flywheel. Here I got both seals changed out. Got the new one applied on the crank seal. Same with the cam seal. Got the new water pump on and tensioner. Now we're going to put on the cam gear, crank pulley, get the belt set up so we can get the car timed. Okay, now that the driver's side is finished with all the new parts, we're going to go ahead and move on to installing the clutch. New clutch and flywheel are finished. Next we're going to install the throwout bearing, and what I also am going to replace, these are the clutch release spring. I have a brand new OEM Honda one. I like to put it on there because sometimes the little teeth which attach to the throwout bearing will break. So we're going to change that because it would be pointless to do all this work and not change that, with the chance of this maybe being a really old one, and if it snaps you have to do all this work again just to get to that spring. I got the old one out, the new one ready to go. Now I just put on some new Sparkplug Gaskets. I'm going to put on a new valve cover gasket. We're going to fill it with oil and coolant. We're going to try to get it started today. Another thing I'm throwing in is some new spark plugs. I don't know the age of the old ones, so I decided to just put some brand new ones in there. Now to compensate for the front mount missing and the driver's side mount was actually broken, I'm putting in a urethane filled mount instead. This has the urethane from the window sealant. This will help compensate for missing the front mount on here, so you won't necessarily need it. It's kind of like using upgraded engine mounts like Hasports or Innovative on the setup to hold it in place. So I'm gonna get that one installed really quick. Did most of the wiring already. Everything up here is essentially connected. I just need to finish up the radiator. I'm gonna do the axles next, get the suspension bolted up, shift linkage, and then work on the exhaust. Now on this engine I swapped out a couple parts. The fan switch was broken. The fan was not kicking on as it should when it reached the specified temperature. The temperature sensor was also broken. I was getting no readings on the gauge cluster. And on the thermostat housing, the back of it, this is one of the pipes that leads to the heater core. It had a hole in it. Obviously when the pipe was slid all the way down, even with the clamps tightened, you would still lose coolant out of there. I swapped all those parts off of my Sox EC that I had, and I had no issues with this car before I pulled it and put a B20 into my 90 Civic. Another thing that I'm replacing is all the hoses on this car. Upgraded this one. It was old and I decided to change it before putting it up for sale. I'm also going to replace this hose and that hose. The ones that go around the back of the intake manifold, I already did those when I was first putting the motor into the car, and I just needed to pick up more. I didn't have any at the time. So now I have enough to finish off the last two hoses that need to be replaced. I already got the oil changed, fluids added, haven't put the radiator cap on yet, and filled the transmission with transmission fluid. So now we're going to try to start it for the first time. Okay guys, I'm gonna try to start it now. The battery's been sitting for a little while, so I'm gonna jump it with one of my friend's cars, and let's see if we can get this bad boy started. Seats, all right. We're using the SI, the PM6 ECU. There we go, yeah. And here's the last look at it all put back together, guys. It's got that MPFI D15B2 in it. It's on Skunk 2 shocks with some eBay coils, but I didn't lower it super low. It rides really nice. I threw on my eBay exhaust that was originally on my 91, the green SI that I have, and it sounds so clean on this car. It's actually not loud at all when you're driving on it, but if you want to step on it, it has a really nice sound to it. Got those Prelude seats in. I also put back the rear seats and the cargo cover just to kind of make it a little bit more comfortable, as this car is now being used as a daily driver. So I wanted to just add that to it so they could use it for storage in the back if they want to throw anything back there. But other than that, it's essentially stock. I wish I would have had a chance to clean the engine bay. I didn't because they kind of approached me one night and the next night they were ready to pick it up. So here's the last look at it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This car has been a lot of fun for me. And before this car, when I was into EFs and whatnot, Hondas, you know, I really thought I knew how to drive a car, but there is nothing like driving a car at an actual road course. I learned a lot in it at there too, so this car had a lot of sentimental value. So that's probably one of the reasons I decided to make this video as well. Just really enjoyed it, and I'm very glad that it's staying in the family. That it means a lot to me, because me and the new owner kind of joking about it, how he'll have like roadside assistance now if he needs a little help with something here or there. I'll definitely offer any assistance where he may need it. But that'll be it for today's video, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Got a little bit of footage of the wagon. You guys take care.